A little warning next time? Jeez.
Good.
Oh, now I can hear us giggle. Okay.
Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Very good.
I think one of my favorite things about watching this was finding out how much I had in common with so many of you. Like, I had no idea how many of us had similar stories.
No.
Like, that was really cool to find out.
The car crash thing.
I know. Like, good of you.
Like,
Viva has the best origin story. She was like, come out.
what up, man?
And it's also to just see like people having similar influences too, like just a lot of the same names being thrown around as like people that, you know, everyone admired. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I agree.
Definitely. I also, how many of us started later, I had no idea. You know, a lot of the guys, they go right out of high school pretty much and right into it. But I think the vast majority of us did something else and then got into wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think too, because of just the way that wrestling evolved in like the time when we were getting a little bit older, like it really started hitting its stride and when we were all like in our early mid-20s.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jimbo wants to hear the lowrider story. So when I was little, Eddie Guerrero came to the Hampton Coliseum, and
I know where that is.
yeah, you do, because we're both from Virginia. I learned so much. So he always, I guess, hits up the local lowrider car club in whatever place he goes to get the lowrider that he would ride in on. I said is, like he's still alive, and I feel bad. But
you brought it up now.
Sorry. I'm sorry. R.I.P. And my brother had the only car club in Hampton, Virginia, so they hit him up, and Eddie Guerrero rode my brother's lowrider, Cherry, into the ring. It had hydraulics and everything, and I was so excited because I was like, we're gonna get free tickets, right? And they were like, oh, you're a girl and you're a kid, wrestling isn't for you. It took me years to find out that was a lie. All these little kids at the wrestling shows, like, it is for kids. But anyway, so they didn't take me and I didn't get to go. That's the story.
So should we answer questions from people on the video and then upload the Q&A, you think, Joey? What's the best course action?
I think the best way to probably is just a round table. As I watch that, I'm so proud of each and every one of you, and it just inspires me more to just how important Santino Brothers is and how important it is to professional wrestling and Southern California wrestling and how important it is, not just to me and not just to Sylvia, but how important it is to each and every one of you. And it really, like Jervis has been telling me, he's been texting me saying, hey, this is only the heat and we're just taking heat right now. So we're getting ready for the comeback. And we're looking forward to bigger and better things, and to keep the dream alive. Just seeing each and every one. This is the first time I saw the film. Was tonight, and it brought Sylvia to tears. She's right here behind me, and I'm just so proud of you, each and every one of you guys, and it just pushes me even harder to get a bigger dojo to where we can go out on all four sides of the ring, just try to do our best, because I see how hard each and every one of you are working. So it inspires me to work even harder. So I just want to say thank you guys. And, I tried my hardest on trying to get a live stream going. It didn't work. But just to be here to talk to you guys and to see everybody, it just warms my heart. I don't want to bring anybody down, but I just wanted to say how much I miss everybody. Sylvia feels the same way. And
I love you guys.
Yeah,
so fucking much.
She'll jump in right now, and you know what? Maybe right now is the best time for her to jump in. But
we're all crying, Sylvia. It's okay.
We decided this isn't going to be recorded. This will not be aired.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Aside from the wine, which I've had a lot of, thank you, Heather. You got me into fucking wine. I fucking love you guys. You guys have made us so fucking proud. Like Ruby said, Women Wrestler of the Year, whether you won it or not, you fucking are. All of you guys are, and we couldn't be more proud. I mean, you know, this past week's been hell. We've had to close the dojo down, lock it for the last time, and you know, I'm afraid we're not going to see half of you guys anymore, and other students too. And I mean, we're fucking family. I don't have kids. You guys, most of you know I can't have them, but you guys are it. You guys are my fucking daughters, and I fucking love all of you so much. I'm sorry, I don't mean to get like this, but
I love you, we love you. And you are my wrestling mom. I always say that.
You're the best one we could have ever asked for.
Just, you know what, no matter what fucking happens with the dojo, when we open up again, we will fucking open up again. Just as soon as you can, as soon as this fucking piece of shit COVID is done, get the fuck out there. Kick some fucking ass. You know, it's like, I know all you guys had major opportunities going right before all this shit happened, and don't let it fucking stop you. You know, don't get fat and lazy like I've been doing and cooking everything I could think of, but just get out there, kick ass, and have fun and fucking make a name for yourselves, because all of you guys either have a name, you're making a name, but you're doing it, and you're doing what I could never do, and I love you guys to death. And Max, I just saw you there. I'm sorry I forgot about you. But you made this possible. You know, you helped bring a lot of attention to Santino Brothers, and Joey and I will forever be thankful to all the hard work, all the bumps, all the traveling, all the coming and filming that you've done, and you know, everything. Just, I love you guys all to death. You know, even my boys, but they're not here, so fuck them all. You know,
better than them.
Yeah,
but,
way better.
Yeah, you guys are my kick-ass girls, and I couldn't ask for anything more. If I ever did really have daughters, each and every one of you would be it, definitely.
Love you,
So,
Phil.
Love you, Sylvia.
Love you,
so much,
Sylvia.
Love you.
Actually, there's most of these bitches here so much.
I know. Why is
yeah,
this
okay,
the
so,
first time we're all
okay, no more
talking?
tears. We're
What
back
the
to being
hell?
tough bitches.
I know.
To all you
Like,
guys,
can we,
the one.
okay. Hold on.
Right,
One
fine,
cheers.
we're fine.
One cheers.
Yes.
Cheers before we do this. Let's get a cheers, and then we'll.
Everybody get in here. I got Joey's Modelo right here. Max, where's your drink? Okay.
I guess Santino's on 3. That seems.
Yeah.
That's right.
1, 2, 3.
Santino's.
Okay. Now cut the cheers. Let's do
Oh
this
God,
shit.
give me a
No more
second.
tears. No more tears.
Listen to that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let me get a little bit of the snot handle.
Blow your nose, but make it fashion. Okay.
Okay.
So we
Max.
have some questions, right? So let's answer.
Are we starting recording now? Can we get them now?
Oh yeah. Okay.
We've been recording.
Everything else before this, we're just erasing from.
It didn't even
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. This was our hallmark.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so the video starts now. If you do it before this, I don't know. I'll sue or something.
But yeah, so let's see. So one question was, what are some goals you have yet to attain in wrestling? So anybody wants to step in?
Okay, I'll start because I love talking. I would say like my main goal was that I wanted to be able to just wrestle for my job, and I was so close to that right before all this happened. So that's one goal that I was kind of like stepping stone goal that I was really getting close towards that I didn't get to achieve yet.
I'd say one for me was like full-time play-by-play commentator. Just getting it out there and having that be it, you know.
Can you go ahead and can you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
No problem. It's just about like, what are some goals you haven't yet attained in wrestling?
I haven't wrestled in Japan yet, and that was one of the things that I've always wanted to do, was to wrestle in Japan. Aside from that, and like I mentioned in the video, I still haven't held a big event. I want to hold my own big event that highlights intergender wrestling, that highlights female wrestling, and wrestle more. I think that's all our goals, right?
Who's next?
Okay, I'll go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yay. Well, so it's more so I almost attained my goal, whereas like my goal in wrestling was to just be wrestling full time. And when I moved to California, I did that for almost 2 years, somehow, some way. But with everything that was going on with my injuries, I had to go back to working as a waitress again. So I guess my goal is to go back to where I was once wrestling.
I think she stopped. Everyone
Stopped-
froze.
It stopped us.
Damn.
It stopped us because it
from what we were doing and how we were doing it. So I feel you.
40 minutes
Running
to
out of
say,
time. Your internet connection's unstable.
Oh, we're running out of time now.
It said it got
We started
upgraded to
the meeting.
unlimited.
Yeah, it's a,
We're good.
Okay, you guys, I think we're running out of time on Zoom where they're going to shut us down. So I'm not.
It just said we
Unlimited.
upgraded.
Sylvia, it said it upgraded, so it's unlimited.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Woo, okay.
Oh, good. Good. Awesome.
Okay, well, I cut out in the middle of Delilah, so catch me at. Hey, fuck you guys. I'm kind of buzzed right now, okay? There's not much else to do.
Don't worry.
Okay, Viva, you're being fucking quiet.
Someone
What's up
else
with you?
go.
Go. Someone.
Next, Milo, what do you want?
Milo, yeah.
Yes.
What do you want, Milo?
What do you want?
Why?
She wants that singles match against me that she got saved from.
Dude, you would have broken her. I love you, Milo, but Ruby would have killed her.
I think I could have taken her. You know, I got some wits up my sleeve.
that where you're supposed to keep them?
I don't know. I thought that was a saying. Anyway, one of my goals is to just like make myself proud in wrestling. And you know, before all this happened, of course, I had like bookings. I had things lined up. I was like, oh, yep, this is it. Here it comes. COVID-19. Sick. Cool. So I'm just taking this time to practice my promos, watch all my matches, write down everything I did wrong. And well, not wrong, things I can improve on, if you will. And my goal for my comeback is to just be bigger than what I was before.
Aww.
Yeah.
Diva.
Well, my goal was the same as everyone else, hoping to make it full time. And it sucks because I, just like Milo, I had a lot of things lined up. And I was going to be able to go to the UK, and then this happened. So that was one of my goals, was to go to the UK, and because of coronavirus, obviously that goal got pushed back. I don't even know if it's happening still. I hope it will, but you know. And I was also supposed to go to Vietnam too to help out with the wrestling school. I was going to visit them because we actually raised the money for the ring. That's the ring.
Yeah. Gotta put my drink down so I can clap.
Yeah, this whole thing sucks, but trying to stay positive.
Yeah.
Oops, there was a cat.
Don't cry, Milo. I see you.
Me?
You look like you were about to cry. I was like, don't cry.
Honestly. Yeah, there she goes. Oh.
Don't try it, you little fucker. Sorry. I'll be interrupted right now. Yeah, right there.
Hey, Panther!
Panther's back.
Woo, Panther!
Yes, little badass. Come here. And yes, he's still fat, as you can see.
Oh my god.
Oh, precious.
So, Max, any more questions for these chicas?
Yeah, so we have, let's see. If you could wrestle anybody, who would it be and why?
Oh, damn.
If I could
Heather.
wrestle somebody, it'd be Ruby.
Oh,
So, like,
me?
to everyone.
Oh, me. Okay, can I just say, okay, let me explain this match. She was going to actually have a championship match against me for the East Bay Road Championship. So she was going to try to come for my title, but I was going to beat her and I was going to kick her ass.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever. At the very least, I would have chopped you, so that would have made it all worth it.
I've been wanting to wrestle Chris Bay. and I was going to be able to at bar wrestling this past month, but
Could I mention one?
oh, and Boogie, I wanted to fucking wrestle Slice.
Dang.
Before all this, I was supposed to wrestle Chris Dickinson for ICW New York, and that was going to be announced.
Oh, that
Coronavirus.
would have been.
Chris Dickinson, I'm still coming for you.
Yeah, same to Chris and Slice.
Yep.
My dog thinks she's gonna leave me.
She's like, I'm done. You're not giving me any attention. I'm done.
Anybody
Sarah,
else?
why are you so fucking quiet?
I was supposed to wrestle Abaddon in Denver last month, and I was really looking forward to that because I'm a spooky, creepy girl, and she's a spooky, creepy zombie, and we probably would have licked each other at least once, and I just think it would have been a lot of fun.
Okay, that sounds very lucha girlish. Could I have that match, please? Sorry, I had to throw a plug in somewhere.
And I don't know, it was also going to be for me one of the first times I was going to be wrestling. I think I've only wrestled girls outside of the SoCal girls maybe like twice so far, I think 2 or 3 times. So the opportunity to wrestle more women from outside of Southern California was the exciting thing for me that was coming up.
Yeah. Viva?
I want to be able to wrestle everyone. I don't have anyone specifically in mind, but you know, the more people you go through, the more opportunities and the more experience.
I
Delilah?
had a singles match. Pizza. So we
Oh,
haven't had
have
singles match.
it. I'll gladly take your chop.
Everybody's anxious to take your job.
They say
I'll take
this,
what
but
at this point, I don't care.
I take a Heather Monroe kick to the head. I'm okay with that right now. Like, let's do this.
Dude, I would take everyone's finishing move if I could get everybody back in the dojo and just, go back to normal.
Agree.
And it would hurt like fucking hell, but I would do it.
It's a sacrifice.
Next question.
I have a question about, it said, what made me decide to focus on the ladies and tell their story this time? So, I mean, you saw the movie. It was an easy decision. That's what I'll say about that. The story was ready to be told, and it was just very clear. That's all I'll say about that. It spoke to me very loudly when the time came to make another movie, what this film would be about. So.
And we love you for it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Easy. It's so funny, like, we all met like one time. And I've been working on a movie about your lives for like a year. It happened on the first one. It's like that too. It's a very unique experience where I feel like I've just been spending so much time with the footage that it's like to get to see everybody again. It's like pretty much the second or third time some of us have ever met.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've never actually stepped in the ring and taken a bump, Max, for as much time as you spent at the dojo.
And it's going to stay like that forever. I'm happy to stay in the editing room.
Take a spot, probably.
Yeah, I'm very happy with my role currently, and having worked on the films, it's so clear how tough and how hard you have to work and how dedicated and how much you have to love it. And like, I think like that path seems very clear too, that it's a calling to many. So.
Well, it's kind of one of those things where, as Joey said, and as I've heard my whole career, is if you don't want to get hurt, go play chess, or modern day, go play Xbox. But all these girls here are tougher than all shit. They'll smash the fuck out of an Xbox and keep kicking ass. So. Okay, why am I the only fucking one talking? Please.
It's because you've had some wine.
Way too much wine. It's really good. And I can't have my other vice, damn it. I need my cigarette.
I know. Oh, man.
Coffee, wine, keep talking.
Well, that was something I thought interesting about the toughness. So Simone comes from boxing, and even she said the same thing that I know Viva and I used to talk about in training, which was we would get like anxiety, and it was kind of like the hardest thing we've ever done in our lives. And it makes sense for me. I was like a gamer. I sat at an office for 20 years almost, like, so it made sense to me that I was having so much trouble. But to find out that people who were boxers, and I've even heard from people who do jujitsu and stuff, that like wrestling is unlike anything else, and it's kind of harder and tougher on your body than almost anything else that you can do.
I have a distinct memory of a guy that showed up to training one day, and he was an MMA fighter, and he had done that. And then he, I would say about halfway through the training, I think he was doing bumps and stuff. And like halfway through, he said he was going to go get water, and then he left in his car. He was like, bye. He didn't come back.
I've heard, but
well, that just happened once when I was there, but you said it happens all the time, Sylvia. So I was like,
quite a few
times. Yeah. And it kind of opened up my eyes to that same thing, like you're saying, Sarah, is like, oh wow, this is. And I would sit, like, there'd be times when I would be on my 2-hour drive in, and it was the hardest time of training, and I was like, do I want to come to training today? All like, right.
Keep paying someone to
here.
I would hit Shoal Street, and as soon as I saw Shoal Street, the anxiety would just shoot through my body, and I'm like, and then like I was like, do I want to get beat up by Eli again today?
Oh, yeah. You know, you just put a big smile on his face.
I know.
Can I say, like, really randomly, I didn't have anxiety about the wrestling training, like the wrestling part of training. It was the calisthenics that I had anxiety over, because the calisthenics were hard as hell with all the squats and all the push-ups and all the rolls and all the this and all that. I'm like, just get through this so you can get through the wrestling. Get through the cardio and all that, and you can get to the wrestling. That's what you really want to do. It wasn't the wrestling. It was always the calisthenics. So.
Yeah.
I just had to look up what calisthenics means. So.
Ruby,
it's the body weight work.
And I'll say, like, just from the perspective,
that's Joey.
It's interesting just from the perspective of the manager class. Like, we didn't obviously have as much physicality as the wrestling class, but even the little bits that we did, I think it gave us the little taste of, okay, like, I'm about to, like, when we first started it, we were running it as live shows. So we were basically going live on a weekly basis. And honestly, like, that, I mean, the class was incredible, and like, big thank you to Kevin, because I mean, it was trial by fire. He kind of just threw us in. So I think that from that, it was our own set of anxiety of like, okay, like who am I gonna manage? And it's funny, my anxiety always came from the idea of having to ref. I don't know why, but we would do these reffing drills, and I would like hang toward the back. I'm like, oh yeah, look, what are they doing? That's cool. Okay, cool. And I would try and like dip away, because I don't know what it was, but like refereeing for some reason made me really nervous. And yeah, so it was just like a different kind of anxiety, because it wasn't obviously like as physical, but I think there was a lot of mental and performance-based anxiety about the manager class that was different from the regular training.
Definitely couldn't see that too. I feel like wrestling, every aspect of wrestling can do that to you, because even Kathy, you do announcing, and I tried it once and I froze up and I didn't say a word the entire show. Not a single word.
It's like, I know you. So I'm like, you?
Right, me. All I do is talk. And I sat there and I was like, and I'd open my mouth and I'd be like, well, what if the other wrestlers hear me and I call it a move that it isn't? What if I call it a DVD and it's like the A1 that I can never remember the name of, and I just shut down. I couldn't say a word. So wrestling in several aspects has that little mental anxiety, and I think that's the fun part of finding where you fit in, because once you're there, that anxiety, it changes. It's not anxiety anymore, it's excitement about what you're about to do.
I love, like, honestly, I love doing commentary. Kathy, the fact that you got to do that so long, like, that stuff is cool because I've never, and all the time I've ever been wrestling, I've never got to do it until Ground Zero gave me the opportunity to do it. And so getting to see what you get to do is so cool. Like, I don't know, maybe it's so cool. Like, I don't know, maybe I just love all the aspects of wrestling because I love being in the ring. I love being in the ring, but I also love running up all night. And when I got to do commentary, I love doing commentary, and doing managing was cool too. So, but commentary is damn cool, Kathy. You get to do that. That's dope. And you know what's the dopest about that? And you mentioned this during the documentary, is you get to give that story that people don't know and people don't get to feel while they're there. And listening now, going back and listening to Up All Night now, like, you do that so well. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's no doubt that you've gotten to do what you got to do because you're that damn good at it. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for always being such a professional with what you do.
Seriously.
And elevating all of our stuff because of that.
You guys make it easy to do, honestly. That's and that's the thing that I think is as athletes, as performers, is you, like, if I say, if any commentator anywhere goes up and says, like, hey, like, anything you want me to put over, and you're like, yeah, this, and this, I did this, I did that. Sure, they might bring their own stuff to the table, but you guys tell such incredible stories. It's easy to get just carried away watching you guys do what you do. Like, it's incredible. It's so fun to help animate that and just put in the words and just call the moments. Like, it's magic.
That was, but like, even aside from that, Kathy, I mean, you knew every show. I've seen you go up, you get all the information, you ask them, what do you want me to put over? But even aside from that, the Deathmatch Hall of Fame, you didn't know Messiah, you didn't know Supreme, but Joey asked you, I think less than 24 hours before the show, hey, we don't have anybody to introduce these guys, we have nothing, could you help us out? And you came up with the most amazing fucking speech. It was heartfelt. It was just, you researched it, so you have the gift, girl, and it's like, it's gonna take you far. You are fucking amazing, so it's just like, I don't know, it's all of you guys, but just, you guys all have that gift, and you guys have that, just, how to, like Joey said, make them laugh, make them cry, really touch their hearts, and it's like, all of you guys have that, and it's the way you showcase it's amazing. So it's just, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. Yeah, we need more questions, Max.
More questions. That's what Santino's doing.
Wait, real quick. Yeah, I gotta give Santino's a shout out real quick. You have several people in this who've been to the WWE. You had 3 people nominated for Rookie of the Year in this group alone. You have winners of the tag teams. You have winners of Wrestler of the Year. Every single woman, and Milo's definitely going to be on a Rookie of the Year coming up. Like, every single woman in here is awesome, and that's because we, not just what we bring to the table, but what Santino's brought out of each of us.
Yeah.
Are you listening to this, Joey?
You guys believe in us, so you make.
Actually, that's 4 people that got nominated for Rookie of the Year on this group. Mm-hmm. And 3 people that actually won Women's Wrestler of the Year. Mm-hmm. That's and right. We'll take over 2022. Yeah. I don't care what you say. We're taking over.
We ain't done yet. We are not near done. So it's just like, everybody else, shut the fuck up. I love you to death, but keep working hard. My Santino's.
Here's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is, you cannot get through Santino Brothers Wrestling training as a wrestler, as a female, if you are not the top cut. That's it. That's period, point blank. That's how it's going to be. That's why in Southern California, I'll call it right now, no other female will win Woman Wrestler of the Year unless they come from Santino.
That's right.
That's just,
like, you guys know I answer the phone.
Run her up.
And I've heard wrestlers who, they say, oh, well, because I asked
you just won.
I'm like, okay.
I won Women's. I was talking Rookie of the Year. Damn you, Brody King. I you. Sorry. I'm just trying not to cry more. So, Max!
Max. It's not from me, it's from Maggie has a question. So, good question is, how is everybody staying in shape? And
you're funny.
Is everyone staying in shape? It's but just in, it's a very physical, of course. As the film is like, if you have any questions and it's something physical, I think the film will end.
I just keep the camera from here up, and I'm happy. Eat cereal, drink wine, and happy smoke works too.
Well, Heather should start off this one because Heather puts up a lot of the athletic stuff.
I was in the best shape that I've ever been in before this happened because I had a tryout. So I was in the best cardio, like, ring in my life, best, like, muscles of my life. And so I was like, I can't just let it fall off just because of this. So I found, I've been using a lot of resistance bands. And then I found a 12-pound and a 20-pound dumbbell. And I've been finding Instagram workouts to do. Alex Rice is a girl that I do a lot of her workouts, and she focuses a lot on strength training. So I definitely need to get back into cardio. I've been doing sprints, but the ring cardio that you need is something it's really hard to replicate if you can't be in a ring. So sprints is the best way that I've found to do it. Line jumping, that kind of stuff. And I've been lifting what I can. It's not the amount that I'd like to be able to lift, but I was able to kind of make a baby home gym to kind of maintain. And I work out still at least 4 days out of the week. I try to do it every day of the actual week and then take the entire weekend off. And I've again tried to eat well, snacking, especially because I'm living with my parents right now. There's more snacks. But once I'm home, I won't snack as much because I try just to not buy it.
Yeah. I've been doing the same thing as far as the Instagram workouts. There's this girl named Rue Abi, and she does really intense cardio, like a lot of body weight stuff. So very similar to what you'd have to do when you're like doing submissions and hold to hold and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of what she does. I do a lot of Pilates for the core work. And then I've been also using resistance bands, and I have plate weights, but I don't actually have any bars to put them on. So I luckily, there is a manager out at OVW named Little Bear. She's been posting videos for people who have the same problem. So I've learned now like a bunch of like arm workouts and stuff I can do with just plates. So just trying to make it work, like Heather said.
The mother of invention.
Delilah's doing
You want to go, Kathy? Go, Kathy.
Oh,
go ahead.
No. I walk and eat cereal and use resistance bands.
Body by cereal, guys. Body by cereal.
By cereal.
Next.
Okay, Delilah, what's the time to your workout video?
It's just a lot of this. Oh, now switch.
So there's these things that I've been doing. It's I just got introduced to it by someone I talked to. It's called rucking, RUCKING, which is essentially you throw on a backpack that's super heavy, and you go out and you do the long walks. So I've been taking about 5 mile walks, not runs. I'll jog intermittently, but I'm not running 5 miles. Screw that. You do it, and you do it with this super heavy backpack on, so you're burning more calories than if you're just regular walking around. It's called rucking. I've looked it up. I thought it's been really cool. I live on a hill, so I've been doing hill sprints. So I run up the hill. It's like a block, like a town block, not a city block. It's a town block. I'll run up the hill, and I'll walk back down the hill. I've also been fortunate that in my basement, I have a basement in Southern California. In my basement, I found some actual plate weights. So I have like a 25, a 10, and dumbbells that are 7-pounders. But I'll do 300 curls for a night. Like that's one of my workouts, the 300 curls and stuff like that. For me, yes, it's about trying to keep the ring shape. It's kind of hard to do the HIIT cardio because I don't have something where I could run and slow, run and slow, and slow. I do telephone post to telephone post. So run to one telephone post, walk to the next telephone post, run to one telephone post. You know, it's the same thing over and over and over. But for me right now, I'm most concerned about keeping muscle strength. because I'm one of the bigger girls, so I want to be able to make sure that I can catch you guys and not drop you. How about that? I like that. And just stuff like that. I'm most concerned with keeping my straight in this time.
Delilah?
What?
You haven't been talking.
I know, Miss Aerobics.
Aerobics is like your jam.
Putting videos on Twitter doing aerobics.
No, so lately I've been virtually kicking it with Richard Simmons and Jane Fonda. But I've personally have been working on my own workout routines and trying to get started, with a little series with that. So that has been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot of video editing. But just a lot of jazzercise lately. That's been getting my cardio going. I luckily was able to purchase one set of weights, which is great.
Yeah.
But it's just 10 pounds, but it's okay. I got some resistance bands, but lately I really just have been keeping up with my jazzercise.
That's the cardio there.
That's been the most fun.
In-room yoga is really good too. If you could just open up YouTube and look for yoga, and then just you have it right there in your room.
Oh, do the hot yoga. That stuff is like really good.
I do have a heater. I have a room heater, so I could.
Oh, that's
use the sun, and just like old bitches like me who can't like do a lot of cardio and shit. It's fucking awesome, and it helps the the old lady hips. So
I have those.
I was like, I have those.
I literally tried to run when all this first happened, and my hips were like, no.
And they're like, nah, ma'am, you
And
ain't
I walk now. Do sprints, and that's it. I can't like go for a run.
I'll run if it's like a dog chasing me, but that's about it. Or Bell Gardens, if a gangbanger's chasing me, then I'll nah.
Run when it counts.
Yeah. More questions, Max.
Come on, Max.
Maybe that may be kind of the end of our question.
Because we weren't live
What's
for
your
very
favorite
long.
wrestling memory? That came up. That one was.
Wait, which one?
What's your favorite wrestling memory?
Oh, damn, you want people to cry again, don't you?
I mean, these are the people asking this. I'm simply a puppet of the people.
Is there a way we could get more questions?
Well, the feed came off, so like we can't necessarily access that.
Or you can make it. You can
I
make
can
it more
make up some
questions.
questions. Yeah, maybe we can cut this part out, or if not, play along.
You're gonna have so much editing to do with this.
I
As if you weren't sick of our faces already.
Bye, Delilah. I'm with you, Delilah.
I think certainly that is a good question, though. Like, if we want to talk about wrestling memories, or a lot of things that were covered in the film, just interesting because things are so different now. And
Can we take a bathroom break?
Yeah, you want to? You guys want to come back and do you want to keep doing this?
I know me and Delilah both.
If you guys have to go pee, maybe we could ask her a couple more questions.
Someone set up a tweet and I'll retweet it and stuff too. Heather, can you set up a tweet and I'll retweet it? All right. I'm going to go pee.
Yeah, Heather's the Twitter queen.
Excellent.
I'm just bored, dude.
Count, girl.
I'm just bored and trying not to get myself canceled. Like, you should see my drafts, though. It's bad right now. It's bad right now, but I know not to.
My favorite tweet in my drafts just says Peggy flew. I have no idea what the context. Peggy flew. That's all it says, and I can't delete it.
Slave when you did that.
It was like, it'd be funny.
Just have a slave woke up.
I was definitely like recounting a dream that like came to you like, wait, what?
And I'm leaving it there because it's a beautiful mystery.
Oh, they put the dog there.
Oh, bring the puppy back.
Where was the puppy? I missed it. I looked down for a
Was
second.
it Max's?
Oh my God. So cute. Hey, pup.
Where is the puppy? I don't see it.
Oh, Max is here.
Is he hosting our Q&A?
He's jointed.
Puppy dog bouncing in a chair like this.
This is Waffles.
Hi, Waffles.
Waffles, hi Waffles.
What a beautiful name.
Aww.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing Waffles with us. All right.
Oh, there. Okay. I'm glad we're doing this because I'm fasting today, and it would be very hard not to snack if I wasn't sitting here.
Oh,
right
I was gonna snack anyway. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but
Well, actually, I should go get another drink while we're. Speaking of
like the way you think.
lush over here.
I didn't do it.
One of the things, Twitter is a desolate wasteland.
Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Puppy dog bouncing in the. Okay, I like it.
I think people liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of my friends that were like texting me about it, so they really enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I feel so much better now that it's come out.
Is it like a weight? Like, do you
Yeah.
feel it? Like I can breathe?
Yes, I mean, I interviewed Heather a long time ago, and then even I interviewed Jenna, and she hadn't debuted yet. You know, things progressed with that, so it was like it's just been ongoing. It worked out that I was able to get such great footage and follow everybody's having such great success, you included. But certainly, it's been in the mind ether for a while.
Yeah.
Mind ether? Is that am I
Sure.
to popularize that?
Hey, it is now.
Okay, good. See, Ruby's got the right idea.
Yeah, I just grabbed another drink. I tweeted all you guys. I don't know if you saw it.
I
got it.
I retweeted.
I reviewed it. There's a little bit of whiskey and a little bit of cider.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's bueno.
Are you in the Midwest, Heather?
No, I'm in Arizona. My parents live in Arizona.
Gotcha.
Don't think that I have not thought of driving out to Arizona to go party with your parents.
They talk about you still, like because you partied. You like met their expectation of partying, and I'm just like, please leave me alone.
It was such a fun weekend.
It was.
It was great. It was great having a food poisoning with. I couldn't ask for a better person to have food poisoning with. Thanks.
Oh my god, yeah. It's been nice to be out here because it just doesn't feel as sad. Like I'm not in the place where I'm normally at and not like living my life still, but nothing's happening. I'm visiting my parents for a month and a half.
I'm super fortunate that I got to go back to my day job this week.
Good.
So that's like I mean it's only like 10-12 hours, whatever, but still I feel like that kind of gives the whole purpose, and it kind of breaks up the monotony of not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm unemployed, so
Same.
every day, same. Every day is
By the way, and I said this, I sent this to Joey and Sylvia. If anybody's having trouble finding supplies out here in Southern California, where I live, we have all the supplies. Like I live in a community where we're not lacking finding anything. So if you guys need stuff, please hit me up.
I might have to when I get home because it's been fine here, and I'm gonna try and like pack as much as I can to go home.
Take all the toilet paper.
Yeah, they can't find that here either.
We know there's one place that sells toilet paper. It's a corner store where no one wears masks, and everyone wants to be very friendly. And I can only buy them like individually wrapped, so they're really expensive.
No.
So I've been rationing.
Yeah, Heather, if you get back and you can't find toilet paper, let me know and I'll grab some.
Yeah, I bought some before, like right before I left, but I told Simone she could use it if she needs to. So I'll see when I get back. I'm sure my parents will send me with some too, because they had some. They just were able to get some last week.
Yeah, our Costco still has them. You can only buy one pack, but whatever. I live by Ojai, so we hardly have anything up here. So Ojai has all the equipment too, so I'm fine. You guys down here need help, let me know.
Ojai's beautiful.
We have eggs.
So nice.
We have eggs. We have meat. We have. You won't find like fantastic antiseptic or Lysol or Clorox or anything, but
We don't even have vinegar.
You vinegar.
We don't even have vinegar. I'm like, okay, there's no Clorox wipes, there's no this, there's no that. All right, I'll use some vinegar for cleaning. Even the vinegar is gone. I'm like, whose grandma got
dude,
here?
just get like you could go to like any liquor store and get Clorox and do the not Clorox, or like some sort of bleach or whatever, and do the bleach and water solution. That works really well.
Okay, I'll try a liquor store then, because yeah, everywhere out here, bleach is gone, Clorox is gone. I'm using not Sid Meier's. That's a video game. There's like, it's called Myers.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh
like,
yeah.
but it's not real cleaning. It's like lavender. It's made out of lavender. I don't trust it to kill germs.
Yes,
Alyssa.
Also, quarantine tip, you could also, Windex, which seems to be out everywhere, you could find it at a lot of places. Windex is like 90-some% alcohol, so you can use that to clean surfaces too.
Nice. Drink it.
All right. Before this turns into us just hanging out, should we answer some questions?
Did you guys get any questions?
Well, we still need to answer the last one that you asked us.
Do we? No, I'm just kidding.
I need to plug my goddamn computer in.
I don't know what that
It was your favorite wrestling memory.
Oh.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
I've been in this business for 20 years. There's too fucking many to count, and I'm a pothead. I forget these things.
There.
Hey, alcohol makes you honest. What can I say?
Anybody else got what their
Start
favorite?
calling on people. Viva, you're down here. What's your
Viva,
favorite?
you haven't talked a lot.
This is like the Brady Bunch.
Everyone get their turn.
You just hear from me.
Viva's here for me.
All right, Viva, what's your favorite wrestling memory?
My favorite wrestling memory that pops up at the top of my head right now was when I got invited to go to a AAA show in TJ, just to go to hang out or whatever. I wasn't expecting to wrestle or anything like that, but I remember Joey and Sylvia always told us, wherever you go, bring your gear bag with you. So I did that, and next thing I know, Conan was like, what does your gear look like? Showed him a picture of it. He's like, okay, I'll have you valet Hijo del Fantasma. So he threw me onto valet for one segment. Then he's like, after that, I'll throw you on in another segment. Oh, okay, cool. And then at the end of the night, he ended up, you know what? I'm going to throw you in the main event with Lady Shani and Psycho Clown. That was the best moment for me so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yay! All right, Milo, you're next.
Her eyes give it.
There is a lot to remember, but one that I can think of that sticks out is the Cinco de Mayo show last year. That was a lot of fun. There's just a lot of good memories, great food. I mean, man.
You put the fucking Taco Bell down.
I just like when we're all together. Like, I feel like with the private shows, you kind of get closer to everyone. And I mean, I just really felt in that moment, I got closer to a lot of people. And that was probably one of my favorite wrestling memories, for sure.
One of my favorite memories I was when I got to do the squash match on Raw, and it was at the Staples Center. And the reason why I liked it so much wasn't because it was like on Raw or whatever, but because when I walked out in the Staples Center, people knew who I was. Like, I could hear people saying my name, and I was like a year and a half in at that point, and I was just like, it just felt good to know that I had like made strides and like progress, and people were like, oh my God, Heather, oh my God. And it was at the Staples Center. Like, I was like, that's crazy. So that felt really good to know, like, that I'd already done a lot at that point to have them know who I was and how great our SoCal fans are. Honestly, like, they're so good, and they always make you feel great or bad when they need to. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. And the very first Thanksgiving potluck that we did at Santino's, I will always, always, always remember that. And we maybe drank a little too much and then got into the ring and started doing open ring.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yes, it's like one of my favorite memories. And I think like Milo, what you were just saying, like those moments when we actually all just got together, just us, just our school, it was like you get so much closer to everybody and you feel, oh, this is my family. I belong here, you know?
That was so good.
Yeah.
I remember that so much. It was like Emily
Someone
was
ripped
there,
their
you were
jeans.
there.
Oh, Doug ripped his jeans. Doug ripped his jeans because we were doing matches in the ring in our street clothes.
I just remember we had the security camera going, and we were at the house because I had to grab something, and all of a sudden we see all you guys in the ring, and we're like, what is going on? That was amazing.
So good. That was so good. That's one of the reasons why I liked this. I loved Up All Night was the barbecues and the wrestling and everything that went on too.
It was just the camaraderie. And Heather, at that show was the first time I ever had tofurkey, by the way, which was actually pretty decent.
You're welcome.
So, All nights were amazing because that's all it was the love of wrestling and the camaraderie of all of it. So that was memories. Okay, I'm too drunk for memories. On to the next question.
I wanted. Oh, sorry.
More memories,
Go ahead, sir.
My favorite memory actually involves Sylvia, so don't listen because you'll cry. But you know, I struggled a lot with getting through wrestling school, and I ended up graduating through the manager class. And so I always kind of felt like I didn't quite belong and I didn't quite fit in. But when I debuted in the match with Ruby and Bateman, right after I came back to the back, Sylvia grabbed me and she said, "Welcome to the business." And she gave me like a little speech, and her and Joey gave me a little speech and a cheers, and it made my whole heart feel like, okay, I'm not the loser of them all. Like, I do have a place in wrestling, and I have a place where I can do what I'm good at. And that moment just meant the world to me because it gave me the confidence to go forward and do, you know, end up at WOW and end up doing everything I've been doing.
Oh, I love you, girl. Don't make me cry, goddammit.
I have a favorite wrestling memory, and mine just came about this. I would say my favorite one is this last Halloween, Halloween 2019 at Bar Wrestling. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah.
And that was me and Nicole Savoy tag teaming against Tyler Bateman and Andy Brown, and the match came down to me and Tyler at the very end, and this was his final match before him moving on to the Ring of Honor as a contracted wrestler. So being his last match on the Indies and being the last person in the ring with him was like really, really freaking special for me because he was the man who trained me for my first 5 years that I've been in the business. And, you know, he's honestly one of my best, actually very best friends ever. Like, we still talk all the time. And this will send me into some tears too, but that's all I ever wanted for him was to go out and do great things at wrestling. And now he could get out there and go do great things at wrestling. So it was just serendipitous to be the last person in the last match with him. And I am forever grateful for that memory.
That was an awesome match too.
Delilah, what you got? Your favorite wrestling memory?
Is it the match with Eli where you met Eli?
Oh, that's definitely yes. But I'll tell one that not many people know. How about that?
Okay.
So, okay. One of my favorite wrestling memories. So when I had my WWE tryout, it was a few months before the first Mae Young Classic. I actually had the opportunity to have a match against Io Shirai at the student show for NXT. So people like Shawn Michaels was there, The Undertaker was there, Nakamura was there. It was just crazy. I had this opportunity and I got to wrestle Io Shirai, and I had one of the best matches I've ever had in my entire career, which nobody will ever get to see. But afterwards, my trainer, Funaki, who I've trained with for 4 years before I moved to LA, he came up to me after my match, and he told me he was extremely proud of me. And that was just, I was very proud of myself because I made my trainer proud.
Okay, Alyssa, go. I mean,
I told you
so
before,
lovely,
I'll
Delilah.
answer
That's so
anything.
lovely.
whatever. I think one of my favorite memories was actually the most recent Santino show, the At Last. Just because I didn't like tell a lot of people what was going on my end. So like, it was like, I loved celebrating Jake. I loved celebrating what was going on. I loved celebrating Santino's and being in the ring with everyone. And it was so beautiful when everyone just kind of like rushed the ring at the end. And it was great to just be there with everyone and be able to celebrate that moment. And then just the whole night and being able to talk to Joey and Sylvia and just everyone that kind of I had met throughout the journey and interacted with along the way. It was really cool. I think that was one of the most special nights, and it actually really helped because I had to be on commentary, so I didn't get to focus on anything except like, okay, like, what do I need to know about this? What's happening here? What's this match? So I got to kind of just detach from the emotional side of it until I remember Halston and I were on commentary. And I remember everyone was going into the ring and I looked at him, I'm like, we just took off our headsets and we just went. And I think that having that moment of like, okay, like we earned this. Now we get to celebrate. Like that was really beautiful. I enjoyed that a lot. Heather, stop, okay?
I'm just
Stop.
remembering it now, and and then you and Jake left me, and like here I am.
Can I just say the funny thing about that is that someone else told me, and I was so mad because I had just sent you the message like 2 weeks before that you don't need to be on the indies anymore. You know the message I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Dave pulled you aside and was like, "You're going to the WWE, girl. I just see that for you." Blah, blah, and you just didn't reveal a thing.
You paid me.
Made that hard.
Okay, so we did get a question. There hasn't been a lot.
Love you guys. Sorry.
Wait, Viva, did you share a memory?
She was the first one.
I was
okay.
the first one.
Too far away.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read it first before I read it out loud because anxiety.
So you never know what some Twitter people might say.
And whiskey. And your son says smoke weed then.
Hey. How about eat weed? Edibles.
Hey, it's California. Remember, okay, we are in California. It's legal.
Yes.
And for us older folk, it helps.
All uses, it's legal.
So I think the question is, what was it like to start training at Santino's and then to be where we are today?
Is that the one from Miles? Because I couldn't interpret that.
I think that's what he meant, is to tell your stories on starting training and to being what you are today.
How was it like for you all lovely wrestlers to tell your stories? What was it like telling our stories to Matt?
Well, no, I think he means what was it like to start training and then to be where you are today? Like, that's kind of what I got from it. So tell your stories on starting training at Santino Bros Wrestling School to being what you ladies are today. That's all I got.
One story I'd like to say is a shout out to Heather, because the first time I went through training, Heather pulled me and the other girls aside and she said her speech, which was, "You should be the first ones in the ring," which we needed to hear because we were hanging back. It's very normal for a lot of us that the guys are going ahead, like, okay, I'll wait my turn. It's very like instilled in us to be polite, wait our turn. So it was really helpful to hear that. And then the second time I went through training, Heather did the same thing. And that's when I realized Heather really takes everyone's progress at Santino Bros really seriously. And you're such an inspiration. And outside of Santino Bros, getting us booked, reaching out, really being a mentor to us in a very real way. And it's so important to have women mentors as a woman. Like, to be able to say that I have one is honestly a real blessing. And you do so much for Santino Bros yourself. So I just want to give you that shout out.
Thank you. Yeah, I just, like I even said in the movie, it was like a couple of us before you guys all came through at once, pretty much. Like,
before that, it was just me and then
Thunder Kitty wasn't around. Mariah wasn't really around when I first started. So it was like, it was Ruby and Jezebel, and that was it. And like, you guys did as much as you could, but I think in the end, having a female trainer and having somebody there to be like, oh, look, this is possible, is so helpful. Especially when it's so hard to get out of the training. Like, it's so hard. So I always wanted all of you guys to succeed, and I'm so happy to see how many of you succeeded. Like, especially when, like, yeah, Sarah, Viva, Milo, Simone, you guys all came at the same time and you made it out. So that makes me happy, because that hadn't happened for a while. There's girls that came and went the classes before you guys, but I saw potential in all of you, and that's when I see potential in somebody, that's when I care more. And you can tell when people
want. That's the reason why you're Barbie.
I know. I still have the picture that you drew of me when I was like barely in training.
Because I remember Heather on her first day, and I remember so for the people that are watching this or whatever, I don't know anybody's names off the bat. I know them by whatever I call them, and Heather I called Barbie. For the longest time I called Heather Barbie because she's so blonde and she's so pretty. So Heather's Barbie.
Today.
But it was dope, because I remember for Heather, I told her a lot of the ins and outs because she was the only girl there. And like she was saying, before that, it was me and Sylvia that were there. But then Heather came, and then Heather was the only girl there. So I gave her the ins and outs. I told her how she's going to have to work 10 times harder to get half the recognition that guys do. And she did that. She just did that. And it was her. I want to say there was someone else, another female that started around the time.
Rachel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
Rachel? She was, she's trained with Kendrick for a little bit. She did a lot of extra work. You would remember her if you saw her.
But Barbie maintained.
But also Sylvia, I just remembered this. I did my private training eventually, and I died because I had just started the beginner's training, and then I did a private training with Joey and Sylvia, and it was just all me rolling and running the ropes and bumping. Like I made it 30 minutes into a 2-hour private training, and Joey was like, we'll take a break. And then Sylvia took me aside and she's like, hey, listen, you're my horse. You're my horse in this race. I know you're going to make it. And of course, now I'm going to cry again. But it meant so much because it was like, oh, you believe in me. Because you're like, we all, at the beginning, all us trainers pick someone that we think is going to make it out, and you're my horse.
Don't give her secret
like,
out.
I'm sorry. You can cut that. And honestly, because I'm crying, please do.
Sure, you were my you now. You fucking made it, girl.
I know. It meant a lot, and it's like what kept me going. Okay, please somebody else talk.
Woman, do that. Do that for 3 months. That's what I had to do with those guys. Like that shit was.
Woof.
That's why I was so nervous half the time, is because my first 3 months where they were training with Joey and Sylvia. Like that was my training. So I understand that anxiety of being there. So just the fact that you made it through that is so like ridiculous. It's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And Sarah, same thing. I remember you did a private training too.
And I threw up. I went to the bathroom. I threw up. I wiped my mouth, and I got back in the room, and I was like, and I kept doing my rolls. And you
throw up in public. Everybody needs to throw up in public. You don't throw up in fucking private. You throw that shit up, and you just walk back to the ring. Don't throw up in public.
I didn't know any rules. I was brand new. It was my very first. I had to catch up with the rest of the class. And I had never, that was like my first class, I think. Yeah, and I threw up, and I got back in the ring, and I was like, I'm crazy. Finished my rolls.
Alyssa, same thing, because I know I trained with you before, and we did private, so, oh yeah.
Yeah. And I remember it was like, you know, doing the rolls. She's like, you okay? You're a little pale. Your lips don't have color. I'm like,
They were just blue.
I don't do this. It's always just hands up. Put your hands up. I'm like, I would get dizzy, and I was like, what? I'm good. But honestly, like, I remember someone that pushed me the hardest, because I was not athletic at all. I had a lot of very terrible health habits that I have since corrected, was Sarah. Sarah and I would be in manager class, and she'd be like, all right, we're gonna run the ropes. And we would run, you know, against each other, and we would go, and I'd be like, okay. And then she'd be like, last 10 seconds, she's like, go faster. I'm like, oh God. But that little go faster, that little, come on, do this. Just like, with that little like, okay, we're gonna do it. I don't want to collide with my friend in this class. Let's go. So honestly, thank you for that, because that pushed me harder. That made me go.
Secretly, it was to push me as well. So like, I can't look bad in front of the new girl.
So we're kind of already on the same track, but somebody asked what our favorite training moment has been.
I just saw that one, yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of been on this track already. So
yeah.
Viva, Delilah, Milo, if you guys have some of those.
Favorite training moment?
There's so many. There are so many to name.
You gotta be specific.
Thank you.
I mean, the first time I chopped Heather was in a training match.
Probably.
And then I chopped her, and then I gave her a gut wrench suplex. I remember that shit.
I don't remember that. That sounds like every match.
I remember having a class where they were teaching us how to dive out of the ring.
Yeah.
And that was really funny, because it would be run, and then just slowly stop, pause, look at the rope, and just gingerly step over it. Like, for some reason, Sarah and I were in the class, and literally we were in the baby ring, like it was maybe a foot off the ground, and the crash pad was down, and we would still just be like, my body won't do it. It won't do. I'm sorry, it won't happen. That was a funny one for me, but.
Oh, Jesus.
Did Joey have something to say about that one?
The whole time back. He's like right here laughing, so. You guys have brought tears to his eyes too. That's why I'm on camera and he's not.
Papa Joey. That's our wrestling dad, our wrestling mom, and our wrestling dad.
He never tells us he's proud of us, so it's nice to hear.
Trust me, he is. Okay, no, the funny part is
we get crumbs of.
That's very true.
Like, those are my daughters. I don't want to see them like that. Like when Heather puts her little sexy girl pictures and stuff, he's like, I don't want to see that. So, yeah, trust me, he's the wrestling father. So, okay, so I don't embarrass the shit out of him too much. Viva, you got anything here? Come on, answer.
Viva, Delilah, Milo.
A funny moment is good moment in training. Joey always pushes us really hard. I think he critiques us more than he compliments us, and I think that's a very good thing. So we were specifically going over strikes, and everyone was telling me, your strikes are looking great, Viva. Good job.
Oh,
Joey comes over, and he's like, you need to work on your strikes a little more. Just a bit. And I'll never forget that. And I'm like, of course, he's being the dad.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to work on the strikes. Everybody.
That was
girls.
When I did the first rise, Allison Danger took me to the side, and she's like, tell Joey you need to work on your strikes. I was like, so I did. It was hard.
Everybody always needs to work on the strikes. Everybody. Let's go. Let's can we do a quarantine, like hit each other sort of thing? I don't know.
I actually had a question for the group, and it was inspired by Ruby and how Ruby has done a lot of different functions as as a booker, as a running a show, commentary, wrestling, are there any roles in the wrestling world that you guys have yet to do that you want to do? Or is it always just like I just want to wrestle?
I really want to have a well, it's not really answering your question. Never mind.
But you've done multiple roles as well, Sarah. So it's like, you know.
I want to try commentary again one day. And then for the wrestling side of it, I really want to be in a tag team, like a real tag team, like the Twisted Sisters or the Killer Bays, like a tag team that goes places, like, because tag teaming combines wrestling and managing. Like, that's what I love. And I love watching really old tag team wrestling, like from the 80s. So that was like one thing I really want to achieve one day, is I want to be in a real tag team.
Tag team matches are some of my favorite matches because it's just such a different story. And I think it was my favorite too. That's why I really like that me and Dom had been tagging a lot more before all this. But
just friends.
We're guys. We're just friends.
I absolutely love tag team wrestling. That's to me, like, I might rather tag team wrestling than individual single wrestling, because I feel like there's so much more room for creativity there.
Exactly.
Because you have another body to work with, and you have multiple people to work with, so it opens up like this whole door of creativity that you don't have as just a single body, as a single person. You know, you have me and Vibress or Marissa who tag together Bad Meets Evil, and I love this dynamic because I'm so big and she's so tiny, so it's the whole throw someone around and make someone else a weapon sort of deal with us. But as far as that question goes, like I said, I would love to run a full-fledged production. That would be my goal, my be-all, end-all goal. I want to hold a big event. But besides that, I actually wouldn't mind learning how to be a referee, because that's probably one of the few things I don't know. And as a wrestler, if I have a question about anything, I know I could turn to Jeremy Marcus or Nick Bonanno and ask them a question about the logistics of wrestling that I have a question about, and they know this. So in my opinion, the referees are some of the most knowledgeable people in the business, and I don't think people actually realize it. So that would be something I would like to learn. Whether I do it or not, I don't care. Like, I don't need to do it, but I would like to learn how to.
I did commentary one time for Glam, but I would love to do commentary. I think because of my improv background, it was a little bit easier for me to kind of flow with it, and having Anton who helped me along and is so easy to bounce off of, that I think I could be really good with that too. Maybe not the play-by-play so much as the color commentator, but
you were so good.
I had so much fun doing it, and I was like so nervous because I was like, oh my God, I've never done this before, and it's live, like everyone's gonna hear me. Yeah. But after doing it, I was like, oh, this is so natural. Like I talk all the time. Of course it's easy for me. I speak with confidence and people believe what I say all the time, even if it's wrong.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You did such a great job watching it back. You made it enjoyable to watch, like, all the matches too. Like,
thank you.
It was great.
Yeah, I felt super comfortable doing it too. So I'm like, I actually started putting it out there. I was like, hey, if you guys want me to just come for commentary, I can do that too. And I actually got another booking for commentary.
Heck yeah!
Didn't end up doing, obviously, but West Coast Pro was going to have me do commentary for a show. But in another life. Viva, Delilah, Milo, speak.
Please.
Either what's your favorite training moment to Milo and Delilah, or to answer Alyssa's question.
I have another one to add to earlier when you were mentioning about Joey rarely telling us that he's proud of us. But I did catch him another time. It was on a live feed, and he was talking about I was doing hold for hold with one of the newer students, and he's like, yeah, Viva just had her debut match. I'm very proud of her. And I was like, I got that step from him finally.
I got a text from him when I told him about my tryout, and he said he was proud of me, and I literally cried. I was like, he's proud of me.
Papa Chaos.
Can I say,
now.
I got one time. It was after my match with Brody King. I believe it was after my no DQ match with Brody King. Chaos sent me a message to my my Facebook about how I am with intergender wrestling and how I need to go out there and make the world fucking believe. And I literally cried, and I was like, that half of me was like, is he kicking me out of Santino? I don't know what's going on. But the other half of me was like, bro. I don't think our trainers know. I don't think Jezebel, I don't think Joey, I don't think Robbie, or even Los Luchas know that how much hearing that they're proud of us or that we're doing good actually means to us. So thank you guys for the times that we actually did.
Yeah, it means a lot.
He makes us who we are, for sure.
Yeah.
Chaos.
You know, I honestly, everything I do in coaching is I kind of just I don't think about not telling you that I'm proud. I think a lot of the times what I say is we all know what you did right, you know, so I'm going to tell you what you did wrong. Yep. And I had Famous B actually tell me this one time, and because I would tell him the same thing I would tell you guys. I would just say, you know, okay, you got to work on this, you got to work on this, you got to do this, you got to change your gear, you got to get bigger, you got to get abs, you got to do this. And he actually came to me one day and he said, is there anything that I did right? And I stopped, and it broke my heart. It really did. And I stopped and I said, of course. And this must have been like at least 10 years ago. And I try very hard not to forget the accomplishments that the students make. Because I do understand that it means so much to you. And then sometimes I try to think like, hey, you know, use it against them. But
that's a good point.
Just being very candid is what always made me better is not what people told me what was great. That's not what made me better. What made me better is what people told me what I needed to work on. And so that's what I always focus on with you. And I think what I don't say enough is, well, I think I do say it enough, but I say is like each and every one of you, you know, Ruby, Sarah, Heather, Alyssa, Viva, Jenna, Delilah, each and every one of you are 20 times better than I ever was, you know, and I truly believe that, you know, I truly do, 100%, because I think, and I always tell people, however many years you guys are in, I probably was wrestling at the Nickelodeon in front of 4 people, and that's the truth. You know, so I always tell you guys that you guys are 100% better than I ever was. And I truly do believe that. And anything that I ever say, and just to let this be known, 150% I'm proud of every single one of you. You know, 150%. I don't say it enough. I try to. I think about it. No, it really does. I really think about it. And I talk to Sylvia and I say, hey, you know, I don't think I tell them enough what they did right. But I think also at the same time, that's the secret to our success at Santino Brothers is not just to get out the pots and pans and tell you how great you are. You know, I think that the fans do that enough. And I think as the trainers and the coaches, it's up to us to really see the potential that's inside of you guys that we do see. And it's something that I actually wrote to Eli, and I actually believe it. I don't think I tell it, but I think I believe it in all my students, is that I believe that you believe in yourself, but I'm watching from the outside in, and I can see the potential that each and every one of you have, and you haven't even tapped into it. And I truly believe that. I truly believe we're talking about favorite wrestling moments. You know, my favorite wrestling moment is to see Heather at WrestleMania, to see to see Ruby wrestling on Raw, to see each and every one of you wrestling at the biggest stages, you know, and it's sad, you know, Santino Brothers is closed down, but that's not where you guys belong. You guys don't belong at a wrestling school show, because someone doesn't stop and take their time and make a movie out of you guys because you guys are only wrestling trainees. They do that because you're special. Max does that because you guys are special, because he believes in you the same way that I believe in you guys. And, you know, I see that you guys, the whole world is out there. You just have to believe in yourself. And I think that's something that I lacked when I was coming up, and I didn't believe in myself. And the biggest thing that I can ever give to my student is the belief that I have in you guys, you know, whether it's the student that can't fucking roll or the student that can't cut a fucking promo. You know, I have the belief because wrestling, you know, you got your hierarchy, you got your lower hierarchy, but at the end of the day, we're all the same. You know, we all connect on the same level. And you know, I think I'm just blabbing right now, but I just, you know, it's just, I just tried to make you guys 110% better than I ever was, you know. And if I ever can tell a trainer, if you want to be a trainer at pro wrestling school, let me tell you this right now, you have to give up your career. And that's something that I did for my students, you know, and it's tough. I got to be honest with you. It's tough to see each and every one of you doing and making the dream and keeping the dream alive, the dream that I have always wanted, you know, to see you guys taking it to the biggest stage that I could ever imagine, you know. But it's the sacrifice that warms my heart to see you guys live your dream, you know. And you know, I always said to myself, you know, I'm a failed wrestler who's trying to teach kids how to become a wrestler. And it's really tough on my level. You know, I got New Japan here. I got Rikishi, who's a Hall of Famer. I got Jesse Hernandez, who's been doing this for 30 plus years. And I'm just trying to find my way and really give the students, you know, the best that I can give them without cheating them, you know. And I hope that I've done that, because I try to give and give everything that I have in my heart to my students. So I don't know. I think I'm just kind of blabbing. I'll probably bring Sylvia back, but you know, I'm just.
You have all this out here, Joey, but you still turn out some of the best students out there and some of the best wrestlers out there. And if that doesn't matter, you got to look at the people that are around. You know, it's New Japan out here. We got Knoxborough out here. You got all these people out here, but it's the people that are putting the wrestlers out there that are traveling, that are making marks in other territories, not just here. And that's you.
And what's made me proud about being a Santino is everywhere I go, including all those other schools, they know when they hear that you're from Santino's. Anywhere on, if I go wrestle on the East Coast, Texas, anywhere, they're like, "Oh, you're a Santino?" They know. You know, they know.
Everybody knows. We're the elite pro wrestling school. That's just a fact of the matter.
And I never want to take any of or all the credit. You know, it's not me. It's all of us. You know, if it was just me banging the pots and pans, no one would listen. But it's each and every one of you that carries the flag, and that makes me incredibly proud. And you know, I always wanted to be the world champion wrestling at WrestleMania. At least that's what I thought. But to see you guys carry the flag and to see all the heartfelt messages that everybody wrote the last week is just really warmed my heart. Because I think that sometimes in wrestling, I always believe, because one of my saying is don't trust anybody. There's no friends in wrestling. But it kind of hurts me, because that's my saying for 26 years. There's no friends in wrestling. And I just had Brody send me a PayPal of all my students that want to help out, that asked, hey, how can we pay your rent, or how can we save the dojo? And it just it just warms my heart, you know, because
It was overwhelming.
yeah, yeah.
What our students do for us is
Come on in.
we got that message from Brody. We've been getting messages from you guys to the point where we were like, fuck, we're not dead. Quit giving us eulogies. But I mean, we love you guys. And there would be no Santinos without you guys, without your hard work, without your love, without your dedication. We're nothing. You know, we're two old people who are still trying to make it in fucking wrestling, and we're making it through you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, there would be no us without Santino Brothers. So let's think about that.
Well, it takes the team, so you know I'm proud to stand with you guys.
You know what? He may DTA and he may say there's no friends in wrestling, but you know what? You guys have all proven to us that there may not be friends, but there's family, and you guys are it. You know, you guys are our family, and honestly, I don't know how we'd survive without you guys. This past week has just really fucking sucked. But
I'm glad we got to do this.
But you know what? Tonight, we really needed this. Thank you guys so much. You don't even know how much this means to us.
Stop, you're ruining my makeup.
Cut it all out.
I had something to do.
That's all colors say.
It's just gonna be a video of us crying for 30 minutes.
I just, you know, even for all the Santinos who couldn't be here tonight, I hope they see it, and I hope they watch you guys, and just keep shining, you guys. Then you know we've been a success if you guys keep shining, you guys keep being successful like you guys are. So just, you know, we love you. We don't. And Max, thank you so much for bringing all this together, because I don't know when the last time I would see my girls. You know, and a couple of them are missing. You know, I miss Sephora, I miss Shannon. There's a couple that are missing, but you guys are my babies. And just, you guys, I don't even know how to express how just overwhelmed we are from just the love we've gotten this past week. So, do you have anything you want to say?
We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
I love all of you.
Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. I'm tough.
You're the Chingona. You're not supposed to be like that.
Every single time I really got down on myself for wrestling, though. I know we're saying like Joey doesn't really say that he's proud of us or give compliments, and I get why it makes us crave it more and push more. But every time I really was on the edge, I would get a message from Joey or even Eli saying, hey, you have so much potential. Stop. Don't give up on yourself. Even Robbie said, you give up on yourself before anyone else does. And that's what kept me pushing through. So thankful for you guys.
You know what, Sarah, you started a few different beginners classes.
So many. I think.
Okay, I don't mean that as an insult, but you know what? You never fucking gave up. You never gave up, and you kept pushing through no matter what obstacle. Viva, you had a shitload of obstacles in your way. You fucking, and you know, it's like, that was one thing Joey and I have talked about. In 2020, you were supposed to graduate, girl. You were supposed to walk across that fucking stage. And
I know.
COVID.
I'm still graduating, but commencement is obviously postponed. But I'm graduating in 2 weeks, guys.
Hey. We're so fucking proud of you. And it's like, I remember your struggles that you went through. And you know what? You kept it up. You kept doing, you kept living your dream. And it's just, keep going, girl. And it's like, to all you guys, just don't give up. Because you guys, you know, it's like I said, we're living vicariously through you guys. The dreams that we had, you guys are fulfilling now for us. So just please, you know, just, I don't know. I'm going to babble now. So someone else talk. God damn it.
No, thank you, Sylvia and Joey, for like supporting me throughout the whole time I trained, and like me juggling school at the same time. You guys understood my struggles, and you guys, like, I remember you would always pull me aside whenever I had a hard day in training, and you always gave me that encouragement, Sylvia. So I thank you for being that mom, that wrestling mom we all need.
I'm here for all you guys. If you guys ever need anything, you know we're here. So Max, goddammit, say something, get it off.
Well, let's talk about one thing that is, because we will cut this together and get this out there as quickly as we can, is people will want to support the school. I know they will, and I know that you're working hard with some merch. So let's plug an opportunity for everyone to support this wonderful organization that is in flux. But one thing I'll mention very quickly too is, having worked on this, having seen so much leading up to this, is that like there's not a doubt in my mind that Santino's is coming back bigger and better. That this will only in the end prove to increase the overall popularity. I had mentioned something to Joey and Ruby. I've talked a little bit about this. Is the Up All Night formula is like the future of wrestling programming due to what's going on in the world, and you were doing that months and months before anyone had any concern about it. It's like there's a clear model, and like even being able to do the premiere, it's like everyone is so set up for the next stage as soon as the doors open that I know a lot of people want to help but are not worried. They just want to support so that when things are open, everybody can just get right back to work.
All of that. Like I would absolutely love to see when we're okay to run in California with more than 5 people at a gathering. I would love to see Up All Night come back when we can, when Santino Brothers can. And like we did before, we don't need a big audience. We just need the people that are there. For me, I've been seeing how AEW is running. I've been seeing how WWE is running. That's exactly how Up All Night ran. The people in the audience are the camera people. The people in the audience, the people who are in the backstage, the people that have already wrestled. So hopefully we can bring that back at some given point. I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna tell you for a fact that I've wrote out the next couple of episodes all night because what do I have to do? We ain't going nowhere. We got time to spare. And at this point, me and Charles and a couple others have talked about doing some new packaging for Up All Night to give some content to Santino Brothers, like best of, the greatest hits, the journey of Hype, the journey of Luke Riley, stuff like that. So hopefully we can get through some of that to give Santino Brothers some new content and to give them, just to keep them at Stay-Lance. We want to see the people that we like still putting out new repackaged stuff. So hopefully we're going to get through this and we're going to do this all together.
And you can buy some T-shirts and some hats too, right? Should we just plug? Buy some SantinoBrothers.net.
Look at them boobs. Look at them titties. Look at them titties.
That's a good push-up line.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm your dad's favorite wrestler.
Hey!
The Santino Brothers.
Santino gear on. So yes, if you're at home watching this and you want to wear what the pros wear and support the local school.
Is that through SantinoBros.net?
Yeah, just go to SantinoBros.net, click on the merch tab, and basically you'll help us with the reopening. So
and subscribe to the Santino Bros YouTube.
Yes.
Or it's been keeping.
What was it? Smash the like button. So hey, fuck that, okay? I don't know.
You're a true mother. Smash the button of YouTube.
Smash it.
Smash it. Smash it.
Hey, someone has to okay, so anyway, yes, we've got a lot of support recently, just through comments, but I mean, the merch, it's like, goddamn, we feel like fucking, we're a t-shirt company right now, so just thank everybody for all the fucking love, and just thank all you guys for everything, and we will be back, we're down until it's safe, and then once it's safe to come back, oh, you can bet your fucking ass we will be back.
Mm-hmm. And we want people supporting all the wrestlers individually too, so I'll make sure, moving forward too, that we're sharing a lot of information. This is just a real support your local indie wrestler, support your local school. I think this is just the time that we're prepping, and wrestling is so important to so many people, myself included, and Santino wrestling is so special and so important, and what all you ladies are doing. And every time I watch the movie, which I've watched it a lot of times. It's just such an inspiring work because of what everyone is doing, and what you need to do to be doing what you're doing is such a mix of qualities and strengths and skills, and it's such a unique blend that like Joey said, it was a real no-brainer. Like I was like, I don't know what we're making here, but it's going to be awesome. I mean, I have no doubt. I'm just going to have to hit record, and something good will come from it. So.
Thank you for making it and bringing us together today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Can we Santino's on 3?
All right, here.
Joey!
Come on.
All right, I said Santino's on three. 1, 2, 3.
Santino!